Okay, so we're going to look at equation A. Equation A, the y-intercept is -1 and the slope is -1/5. So I'm going to plot that. -1 is my y-intercept because the order for the y-intercept is 0, -1. And then I'm going to go down 1 and to the right 5. Or I can go up 1 and to the left 5. And then draw your line. Okay, the second part of my equation, my y-intercept is -7, which is the ordered pair 0, -7. And my slope is 1 because there's an imaginary 1 in front of this x. So that's a rise of 1 and a run of 1. So -7 is my y-intercept. I'm going to go up 1 to the right 1, 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 up 1 to the right 1. Then I'm going to draw my line. And once I draw my line, I look at my point of intersection where they both cross, and that's at the order pair 5, -2. So my solution is 5, -2. Number 2 says y equals 3. Y equals 3 is a horizontal line through 3. In my second equation, I must put a slope-intercept form. So I'm going to add x to both sides. That leaves me with 2y equals 1x plus 12. Divide everything by 2. Y equals 1/2 x plus 6. So my b in this case is 6, and my slope is 1/2. So I'm going to graph that in red. My y-intercept is 6. And because I have a positive slope, I'm not going to rise because I see that my line that I'm trying to find a point of intersection is below the y-intercept. So I'm going to use my slope as negative over a negative, which would make that a positive 1/2 as well. So I'm going to go down 1 into the left 2, down 1 into the left 2, down 1 into the left 2, down 1 into the left 2. And then I'll draw my line. And then you see the point of intersection is right here, which is the order pair -6, +3. So the solution is -6, +3. Number 3. It says the following systems of equations will be solved by graphing. Since James thinks there is no solution, while Rebecca thinks there are infinitely many solutions, who do you agree with and why? But first, I want to put the second equation in slope-intercept form by subtracting 6x from both sides. That leaves me with 8y equals -6x plus 16. Divide everything by the coefficient 8. And leave me with y equals -3/4 x plus 2. So when I compare this equation, which is equation 1, and I compare it with equation 2, I agree with Rebecca because Rebecca thinks it is infinitely many solutions, and I agree with her because if we solve for y, both equations are the same. So I will agree with Rebecca. I say Rebecca is correct because if you solve for y, Both equations are the same. Number 4, Nate graphed a system of equations and found that there is no solution. Explain Nate's error and find the correct solution. Right? So let's look at his first equation. The y-intercept is b, which is 5, and the slope is -1. So here he has a y-intercept of 5, and he went down one to the right one, down one to the right one. So that equation is correct. The second one, let's add x to both sides and put it in slope-intercept form. And we have y equals x minus 3. So my y-intercept is -3, and my slope is 1. So with a y-intercept of -3, he has that part correct. And you go rise one to the right one, 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 rise one to the right one. So we graph this on a line. He drew a positive slope instead of a negative slope. So his point of intersection should be at 4, 1. So that is the correct solution. All right, number 5. It said George's neighbors pay her $20 up front and $6 per hour to walk with their pets. Greg's neighbors pay him $10 per hour to mow their lawn. The system shows the situation that it represents. So the first part A, says graph the system. So the y-intercept is 20. The slope is 6 over 1. So the y-intercept is 20. So my slope is 6 over 1. So I'm going to rise 6, which is about right here for 26, and go to the right one, which is about right here. And if I rise 6 more, that's about 32. And go to the right one. Okay. So when x is 0, y is 20. When x is 1, y is 26. So x is 1, y is 26. When x is 2, y is 32. 2 and then 32 will be about right here. When x is 3, 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus 20 is 38. When x is 3, it's 38, which is about right here. When x is 4, 4 times 6 is 24. 24 plus 20 is 44. So that's 4 and 44, which is about right here. And then when x is 5, 5 times 6 is 30. 30 plus 20 is 50. So that's 5 and 50. So we're going to draw a line right up here. Then the next one, the y-intercept is the origin. So b equals 0. Okay. So when x is 0, y is 0. Okay. So I'm going to write that over here, this equation. So when x is 0, y is 0. That's the origin. When x is 1, y is 10, because 1 times x, well, x is 1, so 1 times 10 is 10. When x is 2, y is 20. When x is 3, y is 30. When x is 3, y is 30. When x is 4, y is 40. When x is 5, y is 50. And connect our lines. So we see our point of intersection is here at the point 550. So the solution for part B is 550. And if we can see in our table, they both equal the same when x is 5. Okay. Then they say explain the meaning of the solution. So X stands for hours, Y stands for earnings. So we look at the order pair X comma Y. So we can say after 5 hours, both Greg and Georgia will have earned $50. Okay. Okay, that's page 1 of your study guide. Now on to page 2. Page 2, I can graph systems of linear equations. It says Mrs. Thistle wrote the system of equation on the board. Use the system to answer equations 6 through 8. Okay. It says if Valencia solves the system using substitution, describe what her first step might be. Okay. So we look at these two. If I want to do substitution, I have to have a variable equal something. Okay. In our first step. So in this case, I don't have any variable by itself. So in this case, I would have to solve the first equation for y. Number 7, an author solves the system using elimination. Describe what his first step might be. Okay, to get opposite sides for y, you'll multiply the first equation by 4. So multiply the first equation by 4. Then it says solve the system of equation using the method of your choice. I like elimination, so I'm going to solve it using elimination. Multiply the first equation by 4. That gives me negative 8x plus 4y equals 40. And rewrite the second equation as 3x minus 4y equals negative 5. Then we add those together vertically. That gives you negative 5x. This cancels, equals positive 35. Divide both sides by negative 5. X equals negative 7. Now I'm going to substitute x into the first equation. So I have negative 2x plus y equals 10. In the place of x, I'm going to put negative 7 plus y equals 10. That gives me a negative times a negative of positive 14 plus y equals 10. Subtract 14 from both sides. Y equals negative 4. So my solution is negative 7, negative 4. You could choose any methods of your choice. That was the method of my choice. But you still should get the same answer no matter which one you choose. Let's look at number 9. Number 9 says solve the system equation using the method of your choice. I'm going to use the method of elimination for the first one. So I'm going to eliminate my 3's by multiply everything by negative 3. So when I multiply negative 3 times 1/3 x plus negative 3 times y equals negative 1 times negative 3. That gives me negative 3 divided by 3x plus negative 3y equals negative 3. which gives me negative 1x minus 3y equals negative 3. Now I want to combine that to my other equation, which is 2x plus 3y equals 12. Now my 3's cancel out, 3y's. So I'm left with 1x equals positive 9. Therefore, x equals positive 9. Now that I have the value for 9, I want to substitute into the first equation because multiplying by thirds is the same thing as dividing by 3. So 1/3 x plus y equals 1. 1/3 times 9 over 1 plus y equals 1. That gives me 9 divided by 3 plus y equals 1. It's 3 plus y equals 1. Subtracting 3 from both sides, y equals negative 2. So my system is 9, negative 2. Number 10, solve the system of equation using the method of your choice. Again, I'm going to use elimination. I'm going to multiply the first equation by positive 3, and that gives me negative 6x plus 12y equals 30. And I'm going to add that to the second equation. And when I add vertically, the x's cancel, and it leaves me with 9y equals 75. Divide both sides by 9. My value for y is 8. Oh no, that's not right. Shoot, that's not moving. So I multiply 3. I get, and I distribute this 3. This leaves me with negative 6x plus 12y equals 30. My second equation, I'm just going to rewrite it. 6x minus 3y equals 42. When I add them vertically, my x's cancel, and I'm left with 9y equals 72. Divide both sides by 9, y equals 8. Now that I know y equals 8, I'm going to use the second equation. 6x minus 3 times 8 equals 42. 6x minus 24 equals 42. Going to add 24 to both sides. This cancels and left with 6x equals 66. Divide both sides by 6, x equals 11. So my order pair is 11, 8.